Every single day, without you knowing it, the world's most insane machines are quietly moving across the ocean. You've never seen them, you've never heard of them, but without them, everything stops. Right now, at this very moment, while you're watching this video, hundreds of thousands of tons of steel are moving across the world's oceans, carrying the fuel that heats your home, the products that fill your shelves, the raw materials that build everything around you. And nobody talks about it. Because these machines don't fit in a headline. They don't fit in a photograph. They barely fit in a port. We're talking about vessels so long that the crew uses bicycles to travel from one end to the other. Ships so heavy that fully stopping them takes miles of open ocean. Structures so massive that entire ports had to be redesigned just to accommodate them. These aren't boats, these aren't ships. These are the greatest engineering achievements in human history, and most people will never see one up close in their entire lives. Today we're changing that. These are the 10 largest floating structures ever built. We kick off our countdown with the undisputed king of the ocean, the massive Prelude FLNG. Stretching an unbelievable 488 meters long, it is officially the largest floating offshore facility ever constructed. Rather than just transporting cargo, this massive red behemoth extracts, processes, and stores liquefied natural gas. When smaller tankers pull up alongside it, you can truly grasp the mind-boggling scale of this floating industrial city. It took hundreds of thousands of tons of steel and billions of dollars to bring this engineering masterpiece to life. Even guided by powerful tugboats, moving this colossal structure requires extreme precision. Look closely at the sprawling maze of pipes and machinery on deck. It is a completely self-sufficient gas processing plant. Taking the silver medal is the legendary Seawise Giant, a massive supertanker that holds the record for the longest ship. Moored at the docks, she towers over the harbor workers, looking much more like an immovable steel cliff than a vessel. At 458 meters, her hull was so incredibly massive that she couldn't even safely navigate the English Channel. Fully loaded with crude oil, her displacement was so heavy that bringing her to a complete stop took miles of ocean. She changed names several times throughout her long life, surviving conflicts and serving as a floating storage unit in her twilight. The sheer volume of cargo she could carry in a single trip completely transformed the global oil industry during the 20th century. Though she was eventually scrapped, her legendary status as the heaviest self-propelled ship in human history will likely never be beaten. Coming in at number 3 is the Batillus, an absolute leviathan built in France during the booming 1970s oil era. With a gross tonnage that simply defies logic, she was engineered to transport millions of barrels of crude across the globe. Sitting high in the water, her massive double-deck profile and towering smokestacks dominated every single port she ever visited. Resting quietly in the shipyard, the immense scale of her dry-docked hull proves just how ambitious mid-century shipbuilders truly were. To see her cutting gracefully through the deep blue was to witness a true floating mountain of heavy French steel. Every single inch of her deck was covered in a complex network of heavy piping to manage her unimaginable liquid payload. Though her operational life was shorter than expected due to changing markets, she remains a monumental icon of extreme maritime engineering. Closely following is her sister ship, the Pierre Guillaumat, built to the exact same staggering and record-breaking physical proportions. Her sheer size was actually a massive drawback, as she was simply too colossal to enter the vast majority of world ports. Even among other supertankers, the Pierre Guillaumat stood out as a true titan, dwarfing nearly everything else sailing on the ocean. Because of her immense deep draft, she had to rely on specialized offshore rigs just to safely unload her massive liquid cargo. Maintaining a vessel of this magnitude required constant vigilance from her dedicated crew to fight off the relentless, corrosive saltwater. Her massive anchor chains alone weighed more than some small ships, holding this floating behemoth steady against punishing ocean currents. Ultimately, the global demand for ships this large faded, but her existence pushed the absolute boundaries of what humans could build. We continue our oceanic journey with the Esso Atlantic, another undisputed titan from the golden age of ultra-large crude carriers. Looking at the massive, heavy propeller in dry dock, you can feel the raw mechanical power needed to push this beast forward. For decades, this massive ship dominated the sea lanes, showcasing the absolute peak of 20th century maritime shipbuilding. Her massive deck piping systems were a marvel of fluid dynamics, safely distributing unimaginable volumes. Gliding steadily along the coastline, her massive blue and black profile became a familiar to maritime enthusiasts. When she finally docked, unloading, her completely dwarfed the surrounding infrastructure. Towering in the shipyard for repairs, the sheer wall of her scarred and weathered hull tells the story of countless voyages. Transitioning into the modern era of logistics, we meet the Ever Alp, a vibrant green marvel of global container shipping. This modern workhorse is capable of carrying over 24,000 standard shipping containers, passing beneath massive suspension bridges, highlighting just how remarkably tall these modern megaships have become. Stacked sky-high with colorful steel boxes, she acts as a floating bridge connecting the massive global supply chains of the world. Despite its staggering width and weight, advanced engineering allows the Ever Alp to slice through the open ocean with incredible efficiency. Guided carefully by harbor tugs, the immense width of her hull perfectly fills the navigation channels of the world's busiest ports. Massive industrial port cranes must work around the clock, perfectly choreographed to load and unload towering rows of cargo. Next up is the MSC Irina, currently holding its ground as one of the highest capacity container vessels. Her deck is the size of several football fields, brilliantly engineered by shipbuilders to maximize every single square inch of space. Vessels like the Irina are the quiet, unsung heroes of our modern economy, relentlessly transporting the goods we rely on daily. Moving a ship this large requires a highly synchronized dance of logistics, expert pilots, and heavy machinery. As she pulls up to the terminal, her towering stacks of multicolored containers completely block out the surrounding coastal horizon line. When viewed from the air, she looks like a massive floating Lego set, perfectly organized for rapid, efficient global deployment. The sheer economic value of a single fully loaded voyage on the Irina is absolutely staggering. At number 8, we have the HMM Algeciras, a vibrant blue colossal vessel. Sailing smoothly through the deep ocean, her highly optimized hull design helps reduce her carbon footprint. Watching this massive, brightly painted giant slide perfectly into a bustling commercial port is an absolute masterclass in modern marine navigation. From the stern, the endless walls of perfectly locked containers showcase the unbelievable precision of port loading systems. During her launch, festive ribbons draped her massive bow, celebrating a new milestone for South Korean shipbuilding. Cutting straight toward the camera, her massive bulbous bow effortlessly pushes aside thousands of tons of seawater. She represents the future of mega shipping, blending staggering payload capabilities with next-generation environmental technologies to conquer the high seas. Coming in at number 9 is the magnificent OOCL Hong Kong, an absolute powerhouse of international maritime trade and commerce. When she was first launched, she made instant maritime history as the very first ship to break the 21,000 container barrier. A single continuous voyage on the OOCL Hong Kong connects continents. Docked right next to heavy port infrastructure, her smooth white hull looks like an impenetrable, modern fortress of global trade. Guided by tiny bunker barges and tugs, the sheer towering scale of this floating cargo city becomes immediately apparent against the harbor. We conclude our list with the mighty TE Class supertankers, specifically the majestic Europa. Basking in the golden hour glow of a spectacular sunset, her massive white hull creates a stunning reflection on the CRI. From a low angle on the water, the Europa looks like a massive, blindingly white wall of steel stretching into the distance. Sailing smoothly through the narrow coastal canals, it is a remarkably tight squeeze for a vessel with such an exceptionally wide beam. These ultra-large crude carriers are the largest double-hulled supertankers ever built. Inside the massive assembly halls, workers look like tiny ants compared to the incredibly vast bow sections, gliding gracefully past monumental dams and coastal barriers. The Europa stands as a pristine, floating island.